Welcome back. This is the Playbook episode 16. This will be a great show today. We have some really good topics. I'm Candace. This is Kay. Please follow us, Girls Only Sports, on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We're going to be creating a Facebook page and as well as a website where you can get all of your updates. We'll have some good things there, but stick around. This will be a good show. So we're going to just kick it right off. The league that stays in the news probably more than they want to. But kicking off our full court press is the WNBA. I would say this is good news, maybe, but all of their 7 head coaching vacancies have been filled. The last 2 holdouts were the Washington Mystics. They're going to be coached by Sidney Johnson. He was a head coach under Teresa Weatherspoon at Chicago. I believe he also coached the U23 men's 3-on-3 team. And then the Dallas Wings, who have an interesting summer coming up, will be coached by Chris Conclaves. He is currently an assistant under USC, the University of Southern California. He also spent 8 years with Kurt Miller with the Connecticut Sun. As many people don't know, Kurt Miller is now the GM of the Dallas Wings. So real quick, let's start with Washington Mystics. I don't know a lot. I'll admit I don't know a lot about Sidney Johnson, but he's going to have an interesting team to deal with. I think priority number 1 is to see if he could keep that woman named Elena Deladon, who looks like she does not want to be there.
Right. Yeah, I think that's task number 1. We got to get Elena Deladon back in the gym immediately. Right. I'm talking this should have happened months ago.
Right. I mean,
the season ended and she needed to be back in the gym.
Correct. Or he and the GM, they got a new GM as well, are going to have to make some moves, either to move her or get some pieces. They obviously, Aaliyah Edwards is there. So Shakira Austin, hopefully she comes back from injury. So they got some nice pieces, but his job is probably going to see how he can construct a roster to get EDD to come back.
Yeah.
Now, this Dallas Wings head coach, I mean, I guess you can say he is in a prime position. Dallas has the number 1 pick in this year's draft. Everybody kind of expects Paige Beckers to be the first pick. Kurt Miller is their GM. What do you think about, this coach? He's obviously spent a lot of years in the WNBA coaching, with assistant under Kurt Miller. Paige, Enrique, Olivia Miles is making some noise too. What do you think?
Like you said, I think he's in a winning situation to try and build something because Dallas has been knocking on that door for the last couple years of just getting over that hump. If they can stay healthy, I think he's going to be in a good position for his season 1. Like he's going to come out there's no way he shouldn't come out of season 1 looking like a top dog,
right?
At a coaching hire.
Right. But before we move off of these coaching hires, I believe, like I said, 7 vacancies, 7 hires. We do have women coaches still, but we have noticed with, some of these recent hires, there is seemingly a lot more men vying for these positions in the WNBA. What are your feelings, your takes on, obviously, look, men coach women's sports. There's some great ones. Gino's the all-time winningest coach in collegiate basketball, so it's not a knock there. But, a couple years ago, nobody was knocking on the WNBA door, but now it's hot. Everybody want to get in it.
Yeah. I think you have brought it up when we first started talking about all the coaches that got fired of what will it look like if they hire a bunch of men for these coaching positions, in which they did. So I am interested to see how you feel about it. I think, like you said, everybody wants to basically buy into it. The league now, since everybody sees the vision. But I think it's good as long as they, all about uplifting the league and doing what they can. A lot of them have been in the women's basketball field, which I think does say something. It's not like NBA coaches coming, things like that. But again, I would like to have seen some more female representation in these coaching hires. But everybody does what they think is best for their team. So
for sure.
I'm going to have faith in that.
I'm with you. I think my only stickler, too, is that if you've been in it, if you have some
Mm.
years under your belt with women's basketball, whether or not it's collegiately or at the pro level as an assistant, like I have no issues. Like Tyler Marsh,
Yeah.
who's now the Chicago Sky's head coach, was under Becky Hammond for 3 seasons in Vegas. So as long as you have some, you got some scabs
Something behind you.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. But like, his name is escaping me right now, but the head coach of the Phoenix Mercury, he had like zero experience coaching women and women's collegiate sports or professional sports. So it's just like, if you've been in it, I'm cool. Like, get the best person for the job. But it's just, I don't want a situation where it's like, oh, I can't find any movement or any motion in the NBA circle. So now I want to try my hand at the WNBA because it's hot. So that's my only thing with it.
Right.
But I'm cool. We'll see how it all shakes out because this season is going to be very interesting and some of these coaches are going to be make or break.
Yeah, going to be thrown straight into the ringer.
Right. But to move right along, Unrivaled, the 3-on-3, I guess we could call it it's not a summer, it's an off-season league, but it's it'll be held in Miami, so it's not summer.
Right.
Playing in January, but it's the 3-on-3 league started by Brianna Stewart and Afresa Collier. It's going to tip off January 17th on TNT. So please check Girls Only Sports out. We're going to be talking about it because I think it's going to be like, I just feel it's going to be entertainment.
Yeah, it's going to be pure entertainment. And I think much like me, the league is following the same just vibes. Because that's how I feel about it. I'm like, I have no clue what's going on in this league,
right?
But it's vibes.
Right.
I'm excited for it. I think a lot of people are excited for it. I think it's going to be fun to watch regardless. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's what we're going to call, if we're going to have an Unrivaled segment, it's just going to be called Just Vibes. Because, like, just they vibes. Still got, I think, 2 wild cards, so they don't even have all the rosters filled out yet.
Yeah, we might as well throw our name in a hat.
Right.
I'm just saying, come out of retirement.
Run it. I can go up and down the court maybe once or twice.
Okay, that's what we need you for.
That's it. But KP, Kelsey Plum, who was originally slated to be in the league, she's not going to play this year. So they got Sabrina Nescu, who took one of those wild card spots, and it was a big splash because I think she had some talk about taking the offseason off and taking a break. So they still have these 2 wild card positions. It'll be interesting to see who they select. But probably the big 2 names that people are waiting for are not going to play. Asia Wilson and Caitlin Clark. I don't think you'll see these 2 players this year in Unrivaled. But it is going to be incredibly entertaining. And I want Angel Reese to take her show down there and, like, get all the drama. But I need her to be in it. Like, I need her to get the drama. I need her to interview everybody. Like, they need a reality show. They should do, like, a Hard Knocks. You know how
that would be fun.
If they did that with Unrivaled and get all the hire us for marketing.
They gonna steal that idea, by the way.
Right. Right. And more women's basketball news. One of the big games that coincidentally came on during the college football playoff, but they were still able to get 2.2 million viewers in prime time.
Talk about it.
Listen. Paige and Juju, USC versus UConn, which turned into a great game. Were you able to watch it?
I did. I seen probably like a little bit of the second half. I wasn't home for the first.
You seen the best part then.
Right. Because at first I was like, all right, ain't no point even trying to rush home to see it. But
blowout.
Yeah, it was giving blowout, but it got real interesting at the end there.
And I think that's a part of the movement going forward, that you have these, don't get me wrong, the name still carries the weight. UConn is still UConn. USC has a huge legacy, but when you can put Paige versus Juju and then Juju goes off the first half and then Paige, turned into a killer.
Oh, wait, no, it's still my show.
Right. And started scaring everybody, and it turned into a game, and it can only be helped because that college football playoff was like blowout. So I think people wanted to see some good competition, and they put on a show. So that was exciting to see. USC were able to hang on 72-70.
Barely.
Barely. After having an 18-point lead, I'm like, come on. And real quick before I move off this, Paige Beckers is a point guard to me. And when I say that, just let her have the ball. I think she spends too much time off the ball. I want Paige with the ball in her hand making decisions, whether it's facilitating or finding her own shot. None of this run. I know, injuries and all that kind of stuff, but let Paige be Paige. It's going to be my mission going forward.
All right, Gino, you heard her. You heard Coach Candace.
Like,
give her the ball, let her make the play.
You don't know what you're doing, Gino. I don't care if you got over, 1,300 wins,
right?
11 national championships.
You like, that's not enough.
That's not enough. But there's some big time matchups coming up in January and in February in women's college basketball. USC plays UCLA. That'll be a top 10 matchup. UCLA obviously still the top ranked team. They haven't lost yet this season. OSU, our Ohio State women's basketball team, have to play them both. They have to play UCLA and USC, and I think they have to play them like not in back-to-back days, but back-to-back games. So hopefully our Buckeyes able to pull off a couple of wins, but we'll keep you posted on that. And then obviously one of the biggest ones, South Carolina plays LSU at the end of the month, and I'm pretty sure we'll get some fireworks.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. I think all of those games, all of those matchups are going to be very interesting to see.
We're going to see somebody come out on the court?
No. No, ma'am. We're not doing that this year.
We jumping over?
No, we're not doing that this year.
That was still the craziest thing I ever saw. But anyway.
Right.
Like, Camila Cardoso was really just going to say, like, dude, get out of here. I'm 6 feet.
Listen. Right.
Let's stay on
there would be extra security.
Right. You're right. For a women's college basketball game, we moving on up. But in our last basketball news, the candidates for this year's Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, this is the main one, has, to me, in terms of players, 3 first ballot Hall of Famers. There should be no debate. They should all be first ballot. Sue Bird, Sylvia Fowles, and Maya Moore are all eligible for the Basketball Hall of Fame this year. You have to be retired, I believe, 5 years. Sue Bird, obviously one of, if not the best point guard, to me, she's the most winningest point guard. In women's basketball. Sylvia Fowles, dominant, one of the greatest post players we've had. And then Maya Moore has claimed to be possibly the greatest women's basketball player ever. And before I get real salty, left about 5 years.
Listen,
6, 7, 8
I was going to
years.
say, I actually can't even talk about Maya Moore without getting worked up. So.
Like, Maya, first of all, I can't believe it's been 5 years already since she's been out the league.
Yeah.
But it's just the biggest what if. Like, if she didn't found love.
We love that for her. I'm so happy.
You love that for her. I'm not going to claim that. I needed 1 or 2 more years, but
same.
3 first ballot Hall of Famers. I mean, you're looking at WNBA champion. Sue Bird has 3 collegiate championships. Maya Moore got about 3 MVPs as well as WNBA and collegiate championships. And I think Maya's winning percentage since high school is like 85%. Yeah. Like, she lost like 20 games, which is ridiculous. She's
insane.
Yeah. So she has claimed to be. So it'll be exciting to see them get. I think they will get selected this go round because, to me, first ballot all the way around. The one coach that was on the list was Lisa Bluter. She was the head coach for Iowa women's basketball team. Obviously, they had a lot of success the last 2 years, getting to back-to-back national championship games. Had a high winning percentage, obviously. Been around for a long time, decided to retire. So she's eligible as well. I'm not for sure if she'll be first ballot, but congratulations to her on making the eligible list. And we'll see how that pans out. But shout out to all those players. Let's move on to a sport that you love, and I'm going to love, because it's drama everywhere.
So much drama.
Season just ended, but the news keeps going in the NWSL. Is she the all-time leading scorer?
Goal scorer,
yeah. Gets traded.
What's going
Like,
on? I think we're watching the fall of Gotham right now.
and weren't they were in the championship as well.
They didn't make the championship this year. They won the championship last year, and then they
Got
made
you.
it to what, the semis, I think, this year.
That's right. That's right.
What's going on?
Like, if y'all don't win championships, they're ready to leave.
No. Let's no. Okay. I don't know. I think something's going on with Gotham. I'm waiting. I'm excited to see that drama play out because there's a lot of people that are
trying to
getting shipped out. Yeah. So, and then also the announcements have been like, the posts for the players have been like, oh, it just seemed a little sketchy. Something's going on there.
And I don't know if
you can't pick up on the vibe.
Right. Lynn's quote is, "I don't want to get into everything with the end of Gotham, but I am really excited to be a part of a team that looks like they're just enjoying each other and having fun."
Crickets. Well, I mean,
okay, Mrs., because I know she just got married.
And did. And Lenny, you better not change that last name because we got the same last name right now. Don't upset me.
But it looks...
Cousin, don't upset me.
It looks like something... I don't know with them. I can't say everybody, but with Gotham and that Angel City, you can guarantee one of them teams going to stay in the news.
Yeah. And it's going to be Angel City, actually, now that we think about it. Don't even talk about Angel City right now. They need a whole episode to themselves.
Right. Right. I'll leave them alone. But, I mean, just quite a story. I mean, having the league's leading, all-time leading goal scorer requesting a trade, getting traded, however they want to frame it, is a big thing. We'll see what she does on her new team this upcoming season and how it pans out. But Gotham, having a run, getting to winning the championship a year ago, this year getting to the semifinals, and then seeing one of their best players leave. Maybe a story we gotta keep a lookout on.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. Like I said, I'm excited to see what stories end up coming out of Gotham. Who else ends up leaving? Yasmin Ryan also got traded to Houston. I seen somebody say nobody willingly goes to Houston. Something's gotta be.
Whoa.
I won't comment on that, but I am interested to see what is going on because Lynn's not a player. Even coming back from injury, she had to work back into that starting rotation and everything. Coming off the bench this season, she's not a player that you just trade. So, in the players no shade. But
you're not getting Lynn Williams for Lynn Williams. Like, we get it.
For Jalen, nah, never would I. Again, no tea, no shade, but nah, I'm not trading Lynn Williams for nothing. But that's my cousin, so maybe I'm biased.
Whoa, not you pulling family ties.
Right.
But we'll see what comes of Gotham and the NWSL, what more trades come this coming season. Still going along with some of the soccer news, the FIFA's, I guess you can call them year-end awards of the best goalkeeper, best player, best coach. And then what I call is just an acknowledgement that you're the best player ever, so we got to name an award after you.
Right, and then give you an award.
And give you the award. So the best goalkeeper of this year, FIFA named the newly going to be retired, Alyssa Nair. We've talked about her a lot on this show. Just longevity, the pressure moments, all of it. I think she has now she has a gold medal. She has 2 World Cup wins under her belt. Was able to save a goal in the World Cup and kick a goal in the World Cup. Like, you something special when you do that. So
I think they just wanted to shut us Americans up, to be fair. They was like, dang, here, have it.
Have something. Yeah, but she earned it. Like, she put in a lot of work. So even if it's a thank you for your service for all these years, she's earned it because she's been one of the best goalkeepers over the years. And then the coach of the year has to go to Emma Hayes. I mean, stepped in almost 10, it's been more than 10 months ago, but it was this year with the team that had all the controversy around them because they didn't win the World Cup last year. And it was like, what is she going to do? She made the decision to leave Alex Morgan off of the Olympic team, put the triple espresso up front, let them run, and walked away with a gold medal. So what can you say for being audacious? Is that the word?
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure she didn't make a lot of friends with that move.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But then also you think the year coming into the U.S. team, she also took Chelsea to 30 in a row. Right. So winning a league. So just, a hell of a coach. And we're happy to have her. I'm officially happy to have Emma Hayes. I've let go of my Chelsea anger, and I am happy to have Emma Hayes.
Please let it go. She got us a gold medal and saved us from another long off season of talk about these young players and the changing of the culture.
Right. Whatever that means.
We saving that conversation for our under what is it called? Under pressure.
Right. Under the pressure.
Yeah. We got to save it because I got a lot to say about that. The best player. I mean, is there? She won.
There's without a doubt.
Like at this point, I guess there's just players who get in the zone, and they're either going to be 1A or 1B in terms of how great they are. And she's been the top player the last 2 years. Won all the major awards. Obviously, won a World Cup a couple years ago. So, shout out. I mean,
shout out to Aitana.
Her trophy case looks ridiculous.
It's getting there. It's getting pretty ridiculous.
For me, it's giving jealous because I'm like, not you winning best player in every your best player in the ESPN poll, your best player in the FIFA poll. What's the big award?
Ballon d'Or.
The Ballon d'Or. You won it back to back.
Yeah.
Even overseas, the BBC listed their top footballer. She was number one.
And they stay loyal to theirs usually.
And it's like you're doing a lot. Give somebody else a chance.
Yeah. Listen, I will say I love Aitana. I'm gonna be a hater for a minute. They could at least gave Caro that one. They could at least give Caro that one. Come on, give Graham Hanson something. She had a hell of a season, but Aitana definitely deserves it. She deserves it. I'm just wanting Caro to get some recognition because she had a hell of a season.
Right.
But yeah, shout out to Aitana. We love to see it.
And the newly minted Marta Award goes to Marta.
Who else would get it?
Just to put some context behind it, the Marta Award is for the best goal of the year. And we talked about it last episode when she set down 3 players.
Ooh! That vintage Marta on 38-year-old knee.
Right. This is one of those situations where, if I get crossed like that and sit on my butt in a soccer match, I'm walking off the field. I'm faking an injury. I'm faking an ankle. I'm faking a knee. I'm embarrassed to be off the field. But Marta was able to win the first of her name. How fitting. We'll see.
How appropriate.
Right. We'll see what she's going to be able to do. I think she said maybe 1 or 2 years left professionally. I know she's done internationally. But we'll see if she wins this award again that is conveniently named after her.
Right. It was just fitting. It was so fitting.
Right. To continue on with our full court press, we had the women's volleyball championship, which is always incredibly exciting because, listen, they be going in. It's something about, trying to get into sports that I can admit I don't watch often. When it comes on TV, I'll sit and watch a collegiate volleyball game. But once the tournament starts, when I tell you I be cheering, I don't even know who I'm cheering for. I have no allegiance to any team. But I was stressed.
Girl, stressed. I'm like, what are we doing?
Right.
And then they just get so hype. It's entertainment. It's
and
pure
I love
entertainment
how they clap
to watch.
after everything, even if they mess up.
For
it's
sure. Yeah. It's okay. Come on. Bring it in. Huddle up.
Because even
I'm like, yes.
Right. In the semifinals, Penn State did a reverse sweep, so they lost the first 2 sets. When I don't know why obviously Penn State has this heartbreaking, heartwarming. It's just life that happens. And so I was rooting really hard for Penn State. And so when they got down to, I'm like, come on. And then for them to come back, when I tell you.
I can already hear how you was in that room.
Listen. like
Acting
standing
a
up
fool.
in front of the TV, like girl, don't be
Right.
no bandwagon fan, but I couldn't help it. But Penn State, the women's volleyball team, were able to win their 8th national championship in an incredible match. They won it 3-1. And on top of that, 1.3 million viewers tuned in. It peaked at around 1.9 million viewers. When, those shirts, everybody says everybody watches women's sports, is becoming a thing because once you
It's
put a
true.
good product on prime time or at least on national television that's not on your ESPNs or like shout out
Hmm.
to them being partners. Like I don't want to sound dismissive, but when you're able to put them on, you can just turn the channel to ABC and it's right
Yeah.
there. This is what you get. But once again, Penn State able to come away with a championship. And I talked a little bit about their story. Penn State's head coach. Let me first off say, Katie Schumacher Cawley, the first woman in Division One volleyball to win a national championship. I want to clap,
We love
but it
to
is
see it. We
20.
love to
It's
see it.
2024.
Yeah.
Like, whoa!
It was time. It was time. Listen,
Shout
that's all
out
I'm
to
gonna
all
say
those
about it.
men
It was time.
coaches. But somebody had to break that glass ceiling, and
Yeah. She said
Coach
hello.
Schumacher Cawley, she did. And the story about her, she was diagnosed during the season with stage 2 breast cancer, and so she's been fighting that, surviving it, I should say, throughout. And just seeing her and the team rally around her, seeing her still coach, it just puts a perspective on life that a lot of times we don't see, where you can still live life even going through some difficult times. And her family's there, her kids are there, her players are there, and you just see the emotion they were getting. And like I tried to like turn it off a little bit when they won because I'm like, I don't want to get choked up.
I'm about to cry.
I'm about to cry.
Yeah.
But it was just so fitting how that team just rallied around her. And let's not take it away. I'm like, she's a hell of a coach to
Yeah.
get her team prepared and staying focused and to come away with the school's 8th national championship. So congratulations to Coach, and we wish her all the best. And we'll see if they can run it back to back next year.
Hey, we
the
gonna
pressure
see.
is still on. Yeah, right. So now for our She Did That segment, couple of things that has happened over the last couple of weeks. Our good friend again over there in the WNBA, the 3-time MVP, Asia Wilson,
Talk about it.
signed a 6-year extension with Nike, said to be one of the largest ever given to a women's basketball player. You can run us some stuff over here, Asia, but congratulations
Right.
to her. It's fitting, and a lot of I've been hearing talk when they released the news that it's like she deserves it. It's like no, she had to earn that.
She earned that.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like you don't
Mhm.
walk into Nike. You walk in with 3 MVPs, 2 Defensive Player of
Right.
the Years, 2 championships.
And she said, "It's time.
Right, like 2 gold medals. Like it's like, come on, y'all.
Let's rework this contract a little bit.
A little bit. Like put a couple zeros, put a couple
Yeah.
apostrophes. Like let's
Yeah.
add some numbers. And of course, her shoe comes out May 2025. So we'll look to see what kind of season she has. But congratulations to her. We had an episode. I don't know how many. Was it a year ago?
That was a while ago.
It was a
Yeah,
while ago
probably-
when we were talking about Asia and a signature shoe and when it's coming out and yada yada yada. But to see how much things have grown for her to get this kind of extension. They didn't put the dollar amount on there because we was gonna be like, how many zeros we talking? But I would be remiss to think it sets a precedent that anything going forward that you won't have to come with every accolade that Asia did to get what she had, but at the same time, It's like they'll recognize greatness with its time and reward it accordingly. So congratulations to the apostrophe and the statue. You can run us
Right.
if you want
Yeah.
to.
And when that shoe drop, y'all better show out.
Oh,
I'm gonna keep saying it.
for sure. And I think it's like 125, so it's cool. My fear is, like always, the bots will get it, and they're all gonna be on the go or StockX or something like that, and they're gonna jack up the price because, like, no, y'all weren't interested in these shoes 2 years ago.
Talk about it. Right.
Stay off the site. Let us real fans get a pair. I don't know if I don't play ball no more, so I don't know where I'm gonna wear them at. But I'm gonna get me one pair.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
To the game. That's exactly where you gonna wear it. To the game.
I'm gonna wear them once or twice when I make my way to Vegas.
That's all right. That's okay.
And then we got another retirement.
I'm tired.
In women's soccer, and it seems like all of our, probably the players we knew more in that era, are retiring.
It's time to say goodbye to the nation's captain, Becky Sauerbrunn. And I just want to say this: NWSL Shield winner, championship winner, Olympic gold medalist, World Cup winner. Becky Sauerbrunn is our forever captain. I'm sorry. Becky Sauerbrunn was not even on the team anymore, and I would be like, where's our captain?
right.
Where's Becky wearing the armband? I'm so confused. I think again, another legend. It is so sad to see all these players retiring. Right. Like,
now you get your
it's the end of an era. But yeah, love Becky, and shout out to her for an amazing career. Shout out to everybody that's retired and has had amazing careers. I don't think we've named everybody, but there's so many legends that, it's passing the guard. It's that time.
Becky's gone.
Kristen Sinclair's gone.
Kelly O'Hare gone. Kelly O'Hare's gone. Like, they're all just
it's so
leaving
many
us.
greats.
Yeah. But shout out. One thing I remember about Becky is that I don't know if it was the 2015 World Cup or the 2019. I can't remember which one. She was so intense. I got scared.
It's 19, like, and that's gonna live in my head forever. It's the 2019 World Cup.
I would not want to be on the back line with her. Like, she looked like she was she was tearing one of them apart. I was like,
listen, Becky wasn't, but then is an angel. Like, you see Becky off the field, and you're like, is that the same person?
Right.
Yes, it is.
Right. But congratulations to her. End of an era.
Yes, definitely so.
End of an era. And for our last segment, our X's and O's segment.
I don't even think I could do this one today, actually.
Why are you rolling your eyes already?
Because I already know what's coming, and I'm just not looking forward to it.
So this segment, not a little bit, we're going to talk about just some conversations that we're not going to talk about specifically the conversations because we don't need to rehash what was said and all of this stuff. But we want to just put a word out that it's just like, it's just time to elevate the conversation, especially how we talk about this new interest around women's basketball, around the WNBA, around the players in the WNBA, how they move, what they do, how they look, how they dress, how they talk, where they go, who they hang with, what they should do, who they should play against. Like, it's just time.
It's tired.
So what has kind of happened, not to get into, because we don't want to get too riled up where we can't be coherent in what we want to say, is that there was a podcast, Club 520 podcast with Jeff Teague. They had a guest on the show that just said I'm just going to call it was nasty.
It was disgusting.
Angel Reese specifically, which we'll kind of circle back to. But then additional comments about, Asia and can she beat a male G League player or a bench player in the NBA, and then were the comments Shaq made on Angel's podcast and things like that. And it's just like, come on, y'all, can we just hit pause on all of the convo? Because it's like, I'm all for people having conversations about the league, even if it gets like, hey, give me your top 5 versus my top 5. Or who you think is better, Cheryl Miller in her prime at USC or Juju Watkins. You know what I mean? Right. And even that, I'm kind of hesitant because, I don't want women's basketball to get like contained with, is it Michael or LeBron or Bron or Mike? Like, it still dominates even his career. He's been what 20, 30 years he's been in the NBA so far. But it's like there's so much more we could talk about than let's lower the rims. Asia, like we said, 3-time MVP, Olympic gold medalist, defensive player. Like, I don't need to run down her resume, but she does not need to play any male player to prove that she's one of the best basketball players in the world. And I'm like, okay, if you she couldn't be a G League player or a bench player. Okay, like
right. Like, what is this? Like, what are we talking? What are we talking about?
Like, you wanted to say, oh, I can't beat. Okay, she's still gonna dominate the WNBA. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
she's still gonna
like,
dominate.
You don't want us in the league. Y'all want to keep us so out of the league, but then y'all want to bring us in every conversation to hype players up. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Like, you're trying to hype a G League player up to say he can beat a WNBA player. Okay, cool, have it. But why are we in the conversation to begin with? Why is a woman player? The fact that she's in your conversation, period, lets you know how dominant she is. I feel like that's the end of the conversation, right?
Now, if they were speaking about it in that regard, I would be cool with it. You know what I mean? Like, you respect her game so much, you can start that conversation. But it was, she can't
never
beat
that.
Okay, like,
why would she play them?
Why would she play them?
Why would she want to play them? Like, that's my question. Like, no shade to any G League player, no shade to any player, but the conversation is just so wide. Like, why would in Angel's mind would she, or not Angel? I'm sorry. Why would Asia even be thinking, oh, let me go play a G League player?
Right. What is that going to prove?
Only you guys are thinking about men that much. Like, we don't even think about those things. Like. Now, nobody's asking to come join an NBA.
No.
We good.
Now, part of it, I get it. They need content, and they know Asia got a lot of fans, and her fans is going to come out and be like, hey, you can't say that. But I'm like, y'all don't have to farm it like that. Have a debate about, he got so many different connections, or could have so many different connections if he, like I said, elevate the conversation. JaVale McGee, go get his mom, Pam McGee, who was on USC's team. Have her come in and be like, hey, you and Asia one-on-one, who would win? You and your prime Asia right now, who would win? You know what I mean? Or call Cynthia Cooper, or call one of these greats coming in and break the game down about what happened in the past and what's happening now. But like, Asia, it's just like, let's just elevate it a little bit, because it's like, okay, she can't be the G League player or NBA player. What's next?
Cool. What else?
Okay, what else are we going to talk about? What else you want to know?
Yeah. What else you want to talk about?
She's still going to suit up in May for the WNBA and play.
Right. And dominate.
Dominate. Right.
Because it's not like y'all going to let them in that league anyway. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if she can or cannot be a G League player.
Right. Or hype one of the G League players and say the one that's not getting any notice, and be like, hey, this is the player that needs to get a shot on the NBA roster. There's so much more that could be talked about than that. Yeah. Now, that was the Asia stuff. Yeah. Angel Reese has, I'm going to steal this from somebody online. They said, and I wish I could quote her, they said she messed up the Matrix. And I kind of believe that she did. Like,
she broke y'all.
She broke y'all. I'm not going to put me in it, because I'm just like, Angel is ball. I like what she brings. She's a new, younger player. It is what it is. But when she waved her finger in front of Caitlin's place, all hell broke loose. Like, nobody can accurately talk about this young woman appropriately. And it's like, the comments that we referenced before that we said were nasty and disgusting. And it's like, first of all, do y'all know you're talking about a 22-year-old young woman? That part.
Like, do you have I seen somebody say, do y'all have no shame? Like, nobody's embarrassed by this conversation? Like, do y'all not have sisters? Do y'all not have mothers? Do y'all not have daughters? Like, I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I'm like, and you're talking about her shorts and what she is 22 years old. She dresses, and you sitting there, somebody uncle.
Yes, like a 22-year-old. She's not 28. Yeah. She's not 6 years into her professional career. She is 22. Yeah. Now, granted, like we said before, they got motion. So obviously, to get your content up, to get viral moments, you're gonna bring Angel Reese's name up. You know, even us, like, you know, you got to talk about Caitlin Clark. You know, you got to take about Angel Reese. You probably got to throw in Asia in there a little bit to get people to, because they want to know what's being said, yada yada yada. We get that part, but it's like, especially when it comes to Angel, like, it's not even doing better. It's like, y'all are entering a territory that is, for me, is dangerous, because it's putting Angel in a very bad position. Like, she does not get the opportunity to grow, to learn, to take risk. That's what it's all about. If we go back, and not to throw men's sports in there, Allen Iverson wasn't as polished coming out of college. Anthony Edwards ain't as polished. Like, he just got fined $100,000.
Right.
And dude is just showing personality out there hooping. But for some reason with her, and even, you know, that stuff with Travis Hunter and his girlfriend, I'm like, what, y'all are adults talking
grown
real
people
reckless about 22-year-olds. And Angel specifically is touching on some stuff that is just like, come on, let's elevate the conversation around her specifically, because it's getting dangerous. And I'm like, let her make mistakes. Let her evolve. Let her live. Like, she's not bothering anybody. She hasn't bothered anybody. The only thing she did was wave her finger in that girl's face after winning the national championship, and it just whacked everything. People have lost their everlasting minds.
They really have. Like, it's genuinely is getting to the point where it's sad. Like, y'all, are you not capable of having a conversation about a woman where you're strictly just uplifting her? That's what it feels like at this point.
Right.
Like, if you cannot have that conversation and keep it basketball, not even keep it basketball, keep it appropriate. Don't have the conversation. Don't have the conversation.
Correct.
Don't
keep
have
it appropriate. Exactly. Like, even if you was like, her doing a podcast is whack, cool. Like, have that.
Okay.
But what they were saying?
Why is that even a conversation you're having? That's like me being like, oh, his game would have been better if he took the jersey off. Why would I say that? Why would I get on any platform and say that about a man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why would we get up here and say
one
that?
One of the ways
like
the NBA's ratings can go up.
If they play shirts and skins. What?
No, shirts and skins on. We need some more. Tighty whities versus boxers.
Yeah, like, why would we have this conversation? Like,
huh?
Because this is a league we had to grow up watching, as far as like, all we had the NBA, you know what I mean? So we watched those players, we respected those players. Never once in my mind watching the NBA was I like, let me objectify every man on the screen.
Right.
You get what I mean? Like, but y'all see women and y'all are immediately like, okay, how can I objectify her?
Right.
Like, because she's not just a ball player, she's also a woman, so she has to be this, she has to be that, she has to look feminine, she has to do, you know what I mean? Like, who's she sleeping with? What is she doing? Why? Like, why does it matter?
Why?
And then the whole conversation about like, oh, all these players are doing this. What are we doing? Like, why do y'all care? Why do y'all are obsessed, and it's getting sick.
Right. And I'm like, it's not that those players are probably doing the exact same thing y'all are doing. Ain't no different. The only difference, they're women, y'all are men. They got messy stuff going on. Y'all got messy stuff going on. Half the time y'all get on them podcasts. I didn't see the podcast where Nick Young was talking about him and D'Angelo Russell and all the mess that they went through. Like, come on, let's not act like this is just what these players are. And going along with what you were saying though about how she dresses and this, weren't these the same people that said in order for the WNBA to get popular, the players had to be more feminine, and now the players are more feminine, but that's a problem.
And now that's still a problem.
That's too much.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's never going to be good enough for you guys. So just don't watch it. Don't consume it. Don't comment on it. Don't do anything. Let it be.
Right.
And let the people that actually care and know about the league discuss it. Keep that out of y'all's conversation. Keep that out of y'all's list of topics. It's as simple as that.
Or just keep it basketball. Or don't be disrespectful with it.
It's so simple. You would think it's so simple. And like, I feel like I'm really triggered by this too, because I'll be like on social media and I always see the comments like, there'll be like certain pages that I have a women's account and a men's account, and then sometimes they make posts together, and then men will be in the comments like, "Who is this? Like, this is about a woman. Who is this? What is this? Who?" Just don't, like, why do you have to engage with everything? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, Candace, it really triggers me. But anyway, I can't go on the rant today because it's just,
go ahead, because it's a part
so
of it.
appalling.
Yeah,
it's so appalling though, and it's like, again, that's somebody's daughter. Like, imagine her dad or whoever, like a male figure in her life is watching you guys, and like, oh, y'all about to talk about my daughter, cool, whatever. Y'all about to talk about, and then you have to hear somebody say that.
Catches all her rebounds, come for her misses. Okay, she don't have no 3-point shot.
You don't even know that though.
What can she work on? Okay, like, if you want to rag on her game, go ahead. I'm all for it. But like, y'all are,
but they don't even know that. They don't even know those things though. Right. You probably don't even know what Angel Reese is known for as a basketball player.
Right.
That's the problem. You only see them as women,
right,
who want to play. You know what I mean? You want that as women that want to play a sport. When no, they are doing this. You know what I mean? They don't want to. They are doing this, and let them have their lane to do it, and stop trying to make everything a man in a man's world of it. Like, she does not. Back to the Asian one, she does not have to dominate a G League team. She doesn't have to do that. She doesn't have to dominate in that league. She doesn't have to dominate in the NBA. She's dominating in her lane that they created for themselves.
Correct.
So we don't have to keep having these conversations. So let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go. Let women breathe.
Let it go. Let it go. And if y'all want to play, I gotta find that girl's name on Instagram and TikTok who be at Lifetime Fitness, and she be hooping, and every time, you know what I'm talking about. And she be giving them dudes buckets. You understand what I'm saying? If y'all want to compete against women, go compete against her. Like, put your game to it. Like, leave it alone. But yeah, that's just the part. I just want them, especially, look, I can't, I don't want to get to telling everybody what they should or shouldn't do, but I'm like, Jeff Teague, you played in the NBA. You got connections to NBA players. You probably got connections to WNBA players. Like, I don't care where the conversation goes as it relates to, if it's not strictly on basketball, but I'm like, there is a bottom tier that you shouldn't go to. It's not respectful to, and when I mean respectful, is like, if you want to disrespect her game, go ahead. Everybody does that. If you want to critique what she can do or do better, if you want to even talk about who's credited for the growth of the WNBA, her or Caitlin, go right ahead. I'm all for all the conversations that can happen. But talking about her and the way she dresses and all this other stuff and booty short and like that kind of talk is like, come on, y'all. Like, let's just elevate it. Like, do better. Like, again, there's so much access that he has, especially if people watch it. But I think part of it too is like this culture where a lot of the men's podcasts obviously is geared toward other men. And I guess my thing is, you mentioned it previously. We spent so long watching this sport, wanting these women to get respect, wanting them to get popular. And now we're at a point where Angel has one of the top podcasts in the world, or at least in the United States she does. And they're getting all this motion, all this endorsement deals. But yet we're still creating this undercurrent where people can disrespect it for the sole reason that, to me, you can't control her. And that's part of it. Like, You can't tell her what to do. You can't tell her what to say. You can't tell her what to dress. Like, it's that whole Meg Thee Stallion type of situation. The mere fact that you can't tell her what to do, you got to start chipping away at her dignity. And I'm like, we're way past that, especially for somebody who's been in the league and can have access. Like, have whoever wanted your show, but had that guy to come on your show and disrespect her like that. And Shaq, you ain't off the hook yet because, dude. No. And I'm going to say that because I don't want, that's going to get me triggered.
Right.
That's what you need to worry about. Why the NBA's ratings, well, they did good on Christmas, but let's worry about why the NBA's ratings are what they are before you start telling Angel Reese to wear booty shorts and lower the rim so she can dunk. Like, that is a conversation for him that is completely beneath the player that she is, the person that she is, and every other player who has built the league to be what it is. Like, all that ain't necessary, especially coming from somebody like Shaq, who has a daughter at the University of
Right.
Florida who hoops, who didn't need to do all that to get a D1
Right.
scholarship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So come on, guys. Everybody just
Let's
elevate.
just do better.
Like, I'm not trying to make, don't let me go off on a tangent. Like, everything ain't got to be this big issue where everybody, even we got to jump on it and advocate. No. We just saying, let's just stay out the mud. Like,
yeah,
we don't need to go there. And specifically with Angel, like, don't put her there. She has not done anything to anybody except put her ring finger in Caitlin Clark's face after the national championship game. Let that be the thing you talk about. Leave all that other stuff alone.
Right.
But that is our show. This is Girls Only Sports.
I'm tired.
We ain't gonna talk about this no more. We're gonna just hopefully these guys can get the message. Just respect the players a little bit. Please follow us on all social media platforms: Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. Again, we'll have a Facebook page coming up as well as our website where you can find all of our content. Please stick with us. We'll be back again next week with another episode. I am Candace. This is Kay, and this is Girls Only Sports.